What if an AI could actually remember? Not just recognize a picture in a single moment, but truly understand a story, where every word's meaning depends on the ones that came before it. Well, today, we're diving into the brilliant architecture that first gave machines exactly that, a memory. This is the recurrent neural network.
Okay, so to really get why these networks are such a big deal, we first have to talk about the specific challenge they were built to solve, a problem that, frankly, traditional AI just couldn't crack. This question, right here, gets to the absolute heart of the matter. I mean, recognizing a face and predicting the next word in a sentence might sound like similar AI tasks, right? But it turns out they involve fundamentally different kinds of data. So on one hand, you've got what we call static data. Think of a picture of a cat. All the information, every single pixel, is right there at once. The order doesn't matter. A standard neural network is amazing at this. But then you have sequential data. Things like stock prices over a week, or the very words I'm saying to you right now. Here, the order is everything. The meaning is built over time, and each new piece of info relies on what came before.
So, how do you build a network that can actually handle sequences? The answer is you have to give it some kind of memory. You need a way for it to hold on to information from the past to make sense of the present.
Let's just compare the two. A standard feed-forward network, it's basically a one-way street. Information comes in, it gets processed, and an answer comes out. It has zero memory of what it just saw. But a recurrent neural network, or RNN, introduces a total game changer, a feedback loop. Information doesn't just push forward, it can actually loop back on itself.
And this loop, this is the magic ingredient. It lets the network take information from one step and feed it right back in as an input for the very next step. This is what creates that persistent state, that memory that carries context forward through an entire sequence. Now, that compact loopy diagram is technically correct, but honestly, it can be a little tough to picture what's really happening over time. So to make it way more intuitive, we can do something called unrolling the loop. Check this out. On the left, you've got the compact loop we just saw. On the right, we've basically stretched it out, or unrolled it, across time. So instead of thinking of one network looping on itself, imagine we're creating a fresh copy of that network for every single word in a sentence. These two diagrams, they show the exact same process. The one on the right just makes the flow of time crystal clear.
Let's just walk through it together. At the very first time step, an input goes into the first copy of the network. It processes it and spits out this special thing called a hidden state. Now that hidden state gets passed along as an input to the second network copy, right alongside the next piece of data in our sequence. And this just keeps repeating, all the way down the chain with each step passing a message to the next.
So this idea of passing the message is cool and all, but how does it actually allow the network to learn anything? Well, that's the crucial part. It all comes down to what's inside that message and how it gets made.
And here is a super important point, both for how it learns and how it stays efficient. Even though we draw it like it's a bunch of separate copies, the network isn't learning a brand new set of rules for every single step. In fact, it uses the exact same set of parameters, or weights, which you see here as U, V, and W, at every single time step. What that means is the network learns one single set of rules for how to handle a piece of the sequence and update its memory, and then it applies those same rules over and over. It's learning a general process, not just memorizing spots in a line. Okay, so what is this message that's getting passed along? It's called the hidden state. The easiest way to think of it is as a bunch of numbers, a vector, that acts as the network's summary of everything it's seen so far. It's the RNN's internal memory, capturing the patterns and context it needs to figure out what's coming next. And this ability, this power to maintain a memory of a sequence, is exactly why RNNs are the foundation for so many technologies we use every single day. When your phone translates a sentence, it has to remember the subject to get the verb right. When a voice assistant understands your command, it's processing your words in order, not as a jumbled mess. All of these things rely on understanding data that unfolds over time. But for all its power, this simple and elegant form of memory has a pretty critical weakness. While it's great for remembering things that just happened, it really struggles when important information is buried way back at the beginning of a long sequence. The problem has this really dramatic name, the vanishing or exploding gradient problem. It's a mouthful, I know, but think of it like this.
As the network learns, it sends a sort of error signal backward through time to adjust itself. But over many, many steps, that signal can either shrink down to almost nothing, or it can grow completely out of control. A vanishing gradient means the network basically forgets what happened early on. The impact of the first few words in a long paragraph just disappears by the end. And an exploding gradient, that makes the whole learning process chaotic and unstable. Both of these problems make it incredibly difficult for a basic RNN to learn from things that are far apart.
Look, the simple recurrent neural network was absolutely revolutionary. It proved we could build AI with memory, letting machines see the world as a sequence of events, not just a series of snapshots. But as we've seen, this basic memory, it fades over time. And that leads to the next critical question in AI. How do you build a memory that actually lasts? One that can connect the first chapter of a book to the last? Solving that? Well, that's what truly kicked off the modern era of AI, and it's a story for our next explainer.